Okay, let's get ready for our restorative practice. It's always very welcome, I find, at this time of day, just to have this time of quiet relaxation that just gives you the opportunity to really just let go, release, and get comfortable. So have a blanket on top of your normal mat, have a folded blanket underneath your head, have a bolster underneath your knees and some blocks for underneath your feet. So just get yourself ready. If you can cover your eyes, then that is a little bonus as well, just to keep the light out. That just helps. I've got cat hair over everything up here. Cats like to sleep up here. So just allow yourself to come down onto the floor. Just have a blanket nearby. Even though it's really warm at the moment, you might still need something to just keep yourself warm. If you get chilly, you don't want to be cold for this practice because you won't be able to relax. Spend a few moments assessing whether the body feels supported evenly, and then allow yourself to release into the floor. Observe how the body makes contact with the ground and the equipment. And allow the arms and the legs to completely let go. Unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. Use your out breath to release into the floor. Just enjoying that feeling of support from the floor. Enjoying the freedom to just relax. Draw your attention to the soles of your feet. And then allow the soles of your feet to gently relax. Draw your attention to the soles of your feet and then consciously relax the soles of your feet. Soften softening the muscle and the flesh and the skin and the bones. Draw your attention to the top of the feet. Draw your attention to the tops of your feet and then consciously relax the skin and the muscle and the bone of the tops of the feet. Relaxing the tops of the feet, allow the fronts of the shins to sink into the backs of the calf muscles. Allowing the shins to sink into the calves. Draw your attention into your knees and your thighs. And again, consciously soften the fronts of the thighs, allowing them to sink into the backs of the thighs. Soften the knees. Let the legs completely relax into the floor. Let the legs relax into the floor and allow pelvis to relax. Allow the abdomen to soften. Soften the abdomen and the ribs around the chest. Allow the intercostal muscles around the ribs to soften and allow the breath to be deep and slow. Soften around the chest and the muscles of the ribs. Draw your attention into your shoulders and your upper arms and your forearms and the backs of the hands and the fingertips. Release tension from the arms into the wrists, into the palms, into the fingertips. Let the arms relax into the ground. Relax the neck and the throat, and soften the skin and the muscles around the face, as though you're smoothing clay. Soften the muscles of the face and the jaw and the tongue and the throat. And just completely surrender into the straight line of the floor. Allow the body to just luxuriate in relaxation. Feeling the skin tingling with consciousness. Just enjoying this feeling of total relaxation and the lack of demand on your physical body. If you hear the sound of the rain in the background, then just enjoy the fact that you're warm and dry. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, just ready to disturb yourself. Bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart, the knees together. And then very gently roll over onto your right side for a moment. And then straighten out the top leg, just come back up into cross legs for a moment, just observe how your energy has changed. Just breathe deep inhalations and exhalations. Okay, we're going to do our side lying stretch. So I prefer an oblong bolster for this one. So I'm just going to get my oblong bolster. If you haven't got an oblong bolster, then you can use your normal bolster, or just fold your blanket up, and that's going to go underneath your armpit as you go over to the side. Have a block for your head. So if you can hear the rain, it's pretty heavy. It's quite exciting. There's a bit of thunder earlier on as well, so we're having some exciting weather. Hope the house doesn't start leaking as usual. That's the thing you want to avoid, isn't it? So you're going to sit on your hip and then lengthen yourself out. Just the bolster comes underneath the armpit chest, and then have the block for your head. And then you can either stay with your hand on the top, just sitting on with the hand on the hip, or you can stretch your arm over your ear and then just allow the body to release into the floor. I haven't done this pose for a while. It feels really nice to do. Releasing into the ground. Just allow the body to relax into the floor. So if you just heard the sound disappear a little bit there, I'm just going and closing all the windows. Got quite a few skylights and it was raining into the house, so just allow yourself to release into the floor. And then bring the top hand back to rest on the hip. Push your elbow into the floor and then just sit yourself cross legs for a moment, just observing the feeling of openness in the side ribs. Just maybe it doesn't feel very even at the moment. So you just have to do the same pose but on the other side. So just sit on the other hip, stretch yourself along, have the bolster underneath your armpit chest, have the block underneath your head of your arm that's on the floor in a little right angle, and then stretch the arm over your ear. And then bring the top hand back just to rest on the hip. Push your bottom elbow into the floor and then bring yourself up into cross the legs for a moment. Just observing how your energy has changed. Okay, just turn your bolster around, create a little ramp with a couple of blocks. So, you've got this little ramp like so. So you've got a little slope, and then maybe have the blanket for your head as well. Just bring your feet into Baddha Konasana, just the butterfly position, and then guide yourself down along the floor and just allow the chest to open. If this is uncomfortable in your hips, then you can put some blocks underneath your thighs just to support your hips, or you can just straighten your legs out. So just allow yourself to release into the bolster. Just feel how it opens up the chest, opens up the collarbone region. So as ever, if the pose isn't 100% comfortable, then just adjust until it becomes comfortable. So as you know, as we move into the sequence, I'll speak less and less so that you can just relax without having to listen. Stay on the lift and then let the legs straighten. Just stretch your legs out. Stay on the elevated bolster. So from the butterfly pose into the heart pose. So the heart area is opened up. Push your hands into the floor and then bring yourself up into cross legs. Just observing connection with the ground. And then just have your bolster take the blocks out from underneath. And we're just going to do a little spinal twist. So sit with your hip as pretty close to the bolster, maybe a centimetre or so away. Have your knees bent like this, and then lift the chest. Turn the chest to face the bolster, and then guide yourself down. Rest your head in the same direction as your knees and allow yourself to release into the floor. Then push your hands into the floor underneath your shoulders. Just push yourself up into a seated position. Just come into cross legs, just observing how the body feels, how your energy feels. And then just sit with your hip, with the other hip close to the bolster, bending your knees, lift up into the chest, elevate your chest along the bolster, and then again rest your head in the opposite direction. Chin in the same direction as your knees. And then push your hands into the floor underneath your shoulders. And then just bring yourself back into cross legs. Just again, just observing the feeling around the back, that feeling of openness and lightness. And then we're going to finish off with our restorative surfboard pose. So keep your bolster where it is, have a block for your head, have a blanket over the top of the block. If you've got something for underneath your shins, like a little mini bolster like I've got here, then get that. If you haven't, then you can just have your legs on the floor. And then you come along the front, and your head has to be free of the end of the bolster. So where the bolster kind of sits in your pelvis really depends on your body length. But your chin needs to be free of the end of the bolster. Just put the block underneath your head and then rest your arms down into the floor. And focus on just long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Focusing on inflating the back chest with each inhalation. Okay, and then just push your hands into the floor underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up into a seated position. Just sit back on your heels. And then just come into a good cross-legged position. Just observe your energy. Observe how your energy has changed. Bring your hands into Namaste. Bring the breath in through the nose and down into the abdomen. Draw your chin down to meet your chest. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this evening, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the relaxation poses brings to the body and to the mind. Just spend a moment to acknowledge that positive energy around the heart area, and then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel really calm but revived. It's quite eventful in terms of weather, that class as well, wasn't it? So quite exciting. So thank you very much for joining me.